Hello, Sifu Boggie here, and the wonderful Doc, the Doc that rocks. Now, you do rock, and you wear very colourful socks. I don't know, actually, I can't remember, but you know it rhymes. And you got a big. No, I'm not going there. So anyway, stop my innuendos. So welcome to. Unfortunately, at this moment in time, this is a recorded show. We're still waiting for the little whirry thing to whir around and make it live. It might not. Everybody seems to be having technical difficulties at the moment. So I'm no exception to the rule. So anyway, let's get on with it. Good evening, Doc. How are you doing?
Sifu, lovely to see you. I'm okay. Yeah, I've had a hell of a week. We've moved home. It's been one of those one step at a time, one breath at a time, and one box at a time. So we're just I do is actually all the time to my heart and just ask for guidance, you know, and it just seems to work. I feel great in myself. It's a lovely place we've moved to, and I feel really positive about the future.
And that's good. That's like really bloody good. I mean, that's the zone you need to be in, isn't it? That's the whole point. You whatever you want, you've got to be in that. You've got to find ways of being in that zone, because that's where stuff happens. I mean, I'm finding. Well, it's actually quite funny. Originally, you know, I was saying, well, none of this stuff's affecting. You know, the only thing I'm getting is tech issues. None of this is affecting me. I said that, me and my big mouth. Next day, I get a cough. And now I've had that cough for almost like really mucus, you know. So it's, you know, the char is really coming up from the lungs. Lungs in Chinese medicine is the metal. So it's you know, it can be the fear and the grief. So there's past fear. And as a kid, I used to worry. So maybe it's the grief from the past coming up. But it's interesting that that's why I'm actually on honey, cinnamon, and lemon juice with hot water. And it's, but I'm finding it really interesting. Yeah, there is this bombardment of energies happening. It's definitely kicking off. You know, if I was still in close protection, I'd be getting ready for a punch up. I think, because you know it does feel like a little bit like, you know, it's ready to happen. But it's interesting to say the least.
No, I agree, and I don't normally do dates. I mean, today's 11/11, the opening of that portal and gateway and stuff like that. But the way I live my life is, I just basically take every single day as a new day. I try and stay sort of centered and grounded, and you know, just loose, really, just to go with the flow. So days don't matter to me, and dates don't really matter. But I have been feeling more and more sensitive to new vibrations coming in. And funny you should mention it, loads of people are talking about ear, nose and throat sort of complications. And I've got it myself at the moment. And my ears been bunged up for a while. I'm hearing lots, and also I used to explain it to people, but they couldn't see it. But you know, I stopped trying to convince them. But all those things that happened to me as a child, back to me now, really. And whereas before I've been really concerned about it, I see this as part of almost increasing our radar, you know, becoming more and more sensitive to different vibrations, visual, auditory, kinesthetic, olfactory, gustatory, the five senses. I'm almost becoming more and more sensitive to about you?
It's definitely there's
Hello?
yeah, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Have we frozen again?
Yeah, you were talking very slowly, but we could pick up what you were saying, but it was very
Yeah, I
slowly.
think we've frozen again, Sifu.
Oh God.
You're smiling in a very peaceful sort of a way there. Can you hear anything that I'm saying?
Yes, I can. I can hear you. I don't know if you can hear me. Right. Yeah, it's been interesting for me in the definitely feeling those waves of energy, and I've had to do what in Tai Chi is called Xiao pushing hands and sensitivity drills. I've been very much focusing on that and the internal stuff, and listening to the energy passing through the body. It's very much like a dragon dog sort of thing, and it's been rare because when it settles, well, the whole thing of illness in the barefoot doctor and the dragon dog viewpoint, the whole point of illness is that there's a blockage. So if you have anything come up, there's a blockage. Look on that blockage, work through whether you tap, whether you self-massage or get somebody to massage, whether you do Qigong or visual. Technically, as a dragon dog, you should do all of them, all of the above. But the whole point is that blockage needs to be cleared, but you need to, as a dragon dog, it's about clearing it physically, metaphysically, emotionally, spiritually, or physically, emotionally, and spiritually. So it's understanding that it's not just a cold. It's more than that. It's char, it's coming out. Where is it? Are you feeling the most? Aching in your shoulders. The world is on your shoulders. Feeling it in the throat. That connection between what you believe and what you can physically achieve. Feeling it in the nose. Well, the nose also represents the heart in Oriental diagnosis. So is the sinuses and your feelings, or are you losing that? Is there a blockage in the heart? But more importantly, is there a blockage in the emotions in the heart? So this is very barefoot doctor. There's 10,000 different things you can think of. The dragon dog shaman make it easily. Do some qigong, chi blast it. Then how you feel? If you still don't feel right, do some qigong, chi blast it. How you feel, and repeat. So
yeah, and that's what I do. I do that. I just keep doing that. I just keep expressing from the depths. It eventually becomes unstuck and unblocked, and then I just carry on. Really, I don't get too hung up on what it is. I just practice the techniques, and as you would say, just practice and then practice and then practice some more.
Yeah.
And so energy follows thought. Create an inner smile down the organs, smile through the organs, make space for spirit to come in and do more cleaning. So what I see now is we need to make more space in our physical bodies to allow these higher vibrations to come in and clean us up much more quickly. There's no doubt about it in my mind that we're all being cleaned. We've got to clean our own act up. When we've cleaned our own act up, we have to clean and help others to clean their act up, and then we need to clean the planet up, and that's what seems to be happening. There's a great sort of purgatory, purging type effect that's happening through individuals, through groups, through tribes, through nations, through internations, and right across the planet. And there's no doubt in my mind that we're being helped by all sorts of universal forces. So, it's a galactic thing as far as I see it, Sifu. I don't try and work it out. I just try and feel my way through it, and it seems to be working okay.
Yeah, I'm a funny bunny, me. I'm very on one side, I'm very much the dragon dog. I can just do, and just, this is happening, more chi. In the Shaolin temple, if you were too stiff or aching or something hurt, they'd always just say more chi, more chi. So do keep pushing more chi, and you just do that. Though some people, they like the whole science and the barefoot, and I can do that as well. I can give people that, and it's that whole thing of you got two options and somewhere in the middle. Don't care how you do it, just do it. And now science, the whole thing in science is the observer affects the reality, affects the experiment. This is an experiment. We are the observer. Science already knows that. Quantum physics has already been saying that for freaking ages. And the experiments that the different agencies have done in the past, where they've had so many people focusing on peace and harmony, and they dropped the crime rate in Washington State, was the second biggest one they did, by 20%. And then they did 7,000 people worldwide, and that dropped by, some people said 70, some people said 85%. I think it's probably more near the 85, and they thought it's too exaggerated, so they dropped it down a little bit. But there's those, and then that goes back to the whole 100 monkey experiments that was done. And what people don't know is that everybody talks about the 100 monkeys. There was actually, once that was done, they actually did one with human beings, where they had a group of people in Australia and got them to try to memorize faces and then repeat it. They did it then in England, where they showed them how to do it. They then did it back in Australia, and the amount of not showing them how to do it, just doing it again with a whole new lot of people, and these people picked it up. The percentage of people that could actually do it increased. So and from that they then did this whole thing in America with the whole people meditating to see what effect that has. So it all sounds very woo-woo, but I've seen that you actually look up on the FBI website, you'll see those experimentations. They declassified them. You actually see why they did them. It doesn't tell you, but it tells you they did them. And so this whole point, it's all about the masses. It's all about the masses. Anybody who lives like us, we live in the UK, so we sort of remember, well, not remember as in we're there, but we learn about the French Revolution when people weren't happy enough, they flipped things round. And I'm not saying, we should burn down the city, but I think a spiritual evolution is happening, that people are waking up, know there's something not right, and this time round, they're not being told, they're not listening to society or religion to telling them to put up or shut up, or keep quiet and just carry on and be a good boy. People are actually people are actually waking up and seeing things are wrong and figuring out what to do about it. And when that happens, I always, the biggest thing is, where's a bowl when I want one? Think of a bowl of water, and if you put your finger in the opposite way, the opposite direction, try to make the water go the opposite way, the first thing that happens, it splashes up. We know this in healing, or I know this in healing and martial arts, is that if you're really unfit and you want to get fit, when you start getting fit, the first thing that comes is aches and pains, possibly getting sick. You get all the disruption coming up because you're disturbing your balance. Good or bad, it's still balance. And so this is what's happening now, I think, is that there's all this stuff coming up. There's the splash up.
I agree, mate. I mean, I think it's almost like mathematical and integral calculus. Before you go to the next order, there's got to be a disintegration, and in that disintegration, the stuff that no longer works is removed, and then we move up then in calculus to a higher order. So there's mathematical correlations, there's correlations going on within the body itself, there's correlations going on outside, so it's all balancing. And I agree that I think more and more people, it's almost like the worms are turning in great quantities now, really. And I call it quantum disentanglement to start with, where all these sort of the lines of communication are becoming straightened out, and people are becoming telepathically more aware of what's going on. And it's almost like if you can open your heart and clean your own act up, you'll automatically linked to like-minded and like-hearted people who will go forward in their own individuality, because each person's got a piece of the jigsaw. It's not trying to be all together. Well, no, we're all together in the same purpose, is to improve things, but using our own unique special abilities for the one purpose. And I see that happening more and more. The most important thing I'm trying to help people with is there's no point in turning round and fighting what's gone on before, because that's all the past. It's just shadow boxing, really. So it's to look in a new direction. Don't give any energy to the past anymore. Just turn the other cheek, go forward, create something beautiful from your essential self, and the world will be a better place. I've become the Pope.
Bless you. Indeed, and but what you just said there is the why worry poem. I know why you can swap worry with anger or any negative emotion, but why worry about the past? It's happened. Why worry about the future? It hasn't happened yet. If you're worrying about something you can do something about, don't worry about it. Do what you've got to do. If you're worrying about something there's nothing you can do, then don't worry about it. There's nothing you can do. Worry turns into stress in the body. Stress turns into tension. Tension turns into illness. Illness eventually turns into death. So why worry or get angry or get frustrated? Because it'll kill you. And it's that for me, like 11, 12 years old, I was taught that, and it for me it was simply what I needed to hear, and it doesn't mean I'll get it right all the time, because there is a thing of your aim is to be chilled, and your aim is to be like the happy Buddha, as as some people seem to call me, or you call me. But does it mean that I don't lose my rag every now and again? Of course not. I'm half Russian, half Irish. I'm almost doomed to be, or at least sound like I'm angry when I'm just excited. But does it matter? Frick no. No, it's because if I'm letting go of it, is that something pees me off. It's boom, boom, it's gone. And that's
I agree. I mean, to me, the Tao is about balance, and if you open the front door every morning to the jolly green giant and he punches you in the nose, right, either go out the back door, right, or punch him with love, it's to me, karma is universal and eternal balancing process. So if somebody's harmed you in the past and you end up punching somebody in the nose spontaneously and you don't know where it comes from, it could be an eternal rebalancing process. Because I know sometimes I didn't used to stand up for myself. I used to try and send out love and hope that would work, and then I keep allowing people to use me more and more and more until something came up and said, I'm not putting up with this anymore, and it was that thing in me. It was my fear of what will they think of me if I stand up for myself, or what will they think of me if I tell them where to go. And so more and more now, if it doesn't feel right, I'll express what I mean clearly and try not to be mean about it. But I really say what I mean and mean what I say now.
Yeah.
And that's taken me a long, long time to get there. But I'm there most of the time now. And you, occasionally, I lose my temper occasionally, very, very occasionally, but I let myself off the hook immediately. If I've harmed somebody, I'll go and say, I apologize for that. That's all I need to do. I don't need to go following them round and continually apologizing. I just say, I'm sorry about that. Can I do anything to put it right? And then let it go.
I mean, the biggest thing in Taoism and Buddhism, they say about that sort of, about things like that, is that, is simply put, is that if you were perfect, you wouldn't be here. If you were light enough to ascend, you wouldn't be here. So if you're still here, you've still got things to do, or you've chosen still to be here to do certain things to help others. So you're going to make mistakes. That is part of the process. But the difference, the difference between, say, Christianity and Taoism Buddhism is is not to keep beating yourself up for the sins that you created. If you've sinned, forgive yourself, most important, then forgive anybody else in the process, and be prepared. The one thing I learned, again, was 9 years old. You can have whatever you want in this world as long as you're willing to pay the price, whatever the price is. And you can't determine what that price is going to be. That's the important thing. And like you said, that thing about, you know, you do something spontaneous and it's the universe. You know, the Taoists will say that accidents is accidents is either the universe shouting at you because you're not paying attention, or it's, but you know, this is actually karma as well. You know, Tai Chi is about the balance of karma, and even in the Buddhists that taught me, you know, the karma, we sort of see it as or good and bad and paying for this. They say it's a tally. It's the Buddha or the Tao doesn't see anything as good or bad. You know, this is just this illusion we're playing, and while we're playing this illusion, if you do one thing, there has to be a counter to that. There has to be a balance to that. Personally, family, ancestrally, and also civilization-y. You know, is that there's all these, you know, we're our individual person, then we are our family group or friend group, clan, then we're a civilization, then we're a planet, and everything has to be balanced. You know, everything has to counter. So, you know, that's the whole thing of what goes. But the whole, for me, the whole thing is that if you know, whether it's yours or somebody else's, if you hold on to shit, you'll get shitty. You'll get more shit. You know, if you keep holding on to it, and that's the biggest thing is to let go. I mean, when me and my daughter's mums split up, you know, there was I did certain things and you know, on the outwards, well, you know, because I did certain things, I got berated from people. We were saying, why did you do that? You should have done this and you should have done that. You should have done the other. And it's like, what I do is up to me, firstly. And secondly is, you know, everything will balance itself off in the end. And, you know, the interesting thing is that I sort of, I'm just wondering whether I publicly want to say it. I walked away from a lot of stuff. I didn't take much, let's put it like that. I made sure that, I wanted to make sure that, you know, people were looked after. My daughter was looked after. So I walked away from a lot of stuff, and I actually lost friends because of that. You know, I lost friends because instead of being, well, you know, that's mine and this is this and that's that, because I wasn't materialistic, I got punished for it. Or, you know, my friends decided, well, that's not right. And, you know, and so things happened. But, you know, you've got to think at the end of the day, everything you do has a price. And you can, and you know, and it's all, you know, all karmic. It balances that itself out. And if you hold on to, this or that or the other, that's not fair, or this is not fair, or if you hold on to that negativity, it will sink you. It will drag you down. I've learned that more now than ever. That, you know, I've had to let go of more. I thought I let go of a lot of stuff, and, you know, certain things weren't, or I still felt being pulled down, or things weren't happening. I go and work again, let go a lot more stuff, and suddenly things change, suddenly things move. And so, and the one thing, you know, unfortunately, guys, one thing my teachers very much said is, whether it's, you know, the dark night of the soul, whether, you know, it's clearing this energy and all of that, it's the Tai Chi symbol. There'll always be more. You know, if you've been around since the dawn of time, can you guarantee that you've cleared all the shit from your past lives? I don't think you can. And I think there's always something else to find. You know, like your house. Your house will always get dirty. It doesn't matter how, you know, how you seal your house in an airtight vacuum. It'll still find a way to get dirty, you know, one way or the other. And so you always have cleaning, and the same with the garden. You always need to get rid of the root, you know, get rid of the weeds. So there'll always be stuff to do. And when there isn't stuff to do, you'll move on. You know, as simple as you won't be here anymore, because you've done the work. You've done whatever it needs to. But on the next life, whatever that is, there'll be a different sort of work to do, and so on and so forth. It's the process. It's part of the thing. But don't see it as good or bad. Just focus on what you want. Keep yourself open. Keep yourself energized as much as possible. If you have if you get suddenly, you don't normally get colds or flus, and you suddenly get one like me, do something about it. I tried for a couple of days to work on it purely through energy. That's not working. So now I'm on the honey and cinnamon and lemon. If that doesn't work in a couple of days, I'll then take some cough medicine, or then take the mucus thing. I like doing it that way. You know, if you want to go straight to the cough medicine, do it. Don't care about it. Do what best works for you. But don't keep putting things in your rucksack on your back, because that's what slows you down.
I totally agree with everything you say. We live similarly. You know, people should be allowed to do what they feel, but accept the consequences of their actions. End of story, really. And you know, I've learned that myself. And how do I know whether I've taken the correct action? Because it feels okay. How do I know when I've taken the not correct action? Because I don't feel good about it. And if I don't feel good about something, I can stop. I can sort of ask my heart, show me what I should have done, and then I'll go and do that as well. You know, I've got no problem. I mean, to make a mistake, the word sin from the Greek means to make a mistake or to miss the target. So at one level, using that translation, we're all sinners. You know, it's the people who are afraid to make mistakes, right, who get held back, really, because they're afraid to make mistakes, because they have some idea, like me, of what perfection is, and they don't want to try for it, you know. And like you said, I believe in the eternal progress of the soul, you know, and whether we die and get reincarnated or we live parallel lifetimes and all that sort, I'm not really bothered about that anymore, you know. You know, people say, oh, everything's happening at the same time. You know, okay, fair enough. So what? You know, I'm here now in this 3D world. I'm trying my best to make the right choices that coincide with what my soul's mission is, you know. And that's where I'm up to today, Sifu, right? That anything that's not in a line with my soul's vibration is incorrect. It's my job to make the choices that reattune me to that perfect vibration, which represents physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual balance. And to me, that's what whole health is, you know. And it's up to me to sink deep enough into my soul and to try and be guided by it, or allow it to navigate me to the next sort of lesson or choice I need to make in my life. That sounds all very heavy, that, but it's quite easy, really, because it's just a sense of, do I feel blocked or do I feel flowing?
Yeah. And I think that's, again, you know, the saying, you know, the saying in Taoism of be like a child, take responsibility like an adult. Like all these sayings, they mean so many freaking things. There's so many multi-levels to it. But I think that's what it's really. Make it as simple as it needs to be for you, you know, and I think the whole thing with the Tao is that Tao, the balance is personal balance. So what works for you may not work for me. Does that matter? No. You know, like we said about the whole multiverse theory. Okay, so that, you know, you want to believe in the multiverse theory. Can you do anything about that? Can you change those other lives? If you can, freaking awesome, get on with it. If you can't, shut up. Don't worry about it. It's irrelevant, you know. And you know, sorry, being a bit harsh, but it's, you know, it's as simple as this. We can only change what we can change, and I mean, you know, I know, like, you know, people saying about the pollution of the planet and everything else, and I just go back to the whole little girl on the beach and the beach full of starfish. You know, there's thousands of starfish, and this man says, oh, you can't save all the starfish, you know, on this beach. And she says, I saved this one. I saved this one. I saved this one. Work on the things you can do. You know, work on yourself, work on your friends and family, work on the community. Do the things you freaking can do. You know, not being harsh. I'm not saying don't worry about the planet. If everybody works on themselves, it will change the planet. Trust me.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. And my favourite saying is, just do what emerges next. What emerges right in front of you, just do that. And then when that's done, just do what emerges next, one breath at a time, and it's right, I mean, we have two choices. We have a choice to either be obstructed or to be open. It's not hard, is it? But it's what is it? It's simple, but it's not easy.
Yeah. Oh, very, very much so. It is very much that. It reminds me of that whole thing again, like in kung fu and qigong, especially in tai chi. There's this thing of if somebody's going to hit you, you can stand there and brace, and bracing physically, by bracing, it hits your organs, and because all your organs are all tense, it actually does more damage. The vibration of that fist goes through, and because all the organs are tense, it can actually break bones even more easily. But when you're loose and relax and just go with it, it actually does less damage. And the whole thing of drunken qigong or drunken style is most people who do get drunk, when they're falling over, they end up hurting themselves less because their body's in that relaxed mode. If you do exactly the same thing sober, I can guarantee you bloody hurt yourself more. And I've learned this fully. You hear me say all the time, everything is your Sifu. One thing I learned with ice skating is that if you're on the ice and you're scared of falling over, you get all rigid, you get all stiff, and that means your skating gets harder, you're actually more likely to fall over. When you fall over, it will bloody hurt even more, or you'll hurt yourself. But if you relax and loose and flop, or even make yourself fall over and just relax and go, oh, that didn't hurt, and then you get used to that, you're more likely to flow. You're more likely, if you do fall over and you just relax, you won't hurt as much, if at all. And I found ice skating one of the most, like a universal mirror. Is that if you brace against the world, it will hit you with 10 tons of bricks. If you become all soft, it won't feel as much impact, and you'll find yourself getting, think to yourself, if you go into a river and you're panicking and desperately swimming, you'll burn yourself out and then you'll sink like a rock. If you relax and just float with the water and relax, sooner or later, it can always happen, sooner or later, that you get pushed to the side, because a big thing will always get pushed to the side of the bank at some point. Hopefully you won't go over a waterfall first, but sooner or later you'll get pushed to the side. And that metaphor has always, it's another metaphor to me, is when you relax with stuff, when something, I'm scared of something happening, or a bill or a debt, cut another one on the door, and money's tight. When I panic about it, it makes things a hell of a lot worse and a lot more miserable. When I go, oh, puck it, it is, worst case scenario, I have to go, I'll be in the red. Worst case scenario is, the debt collectors will come. Worst case scenario, they'll take some of my shit away for me. So it is when you start seeing it in that essence of not caring, but just going with the flow. Is that things? I've been far less stressed now with that sort of attitude. When I have had tough times, with that sort of attitude, I have, even though I can qigong it out, but I'm wasting so much energy qigonging all this stuff out. If I didn't actually let it build up to begin with, I actually end up with more energy, and that's the point.
Yeah, I agree totally. I mean, what I've learned is that, as you say, is total surrender almost means trust in something deeper. And to me, that's intuition. When we relax, our intuition comes through. It doesn't hurt us so much. We get clearer, crisper answers. And, I've also been shown a technique as well, where if you relax your eyes and wiggle your eyes around and allow your sort of eyes to completely relax, what happens is the two eyes lock onto the third eye then, and your intuition starts to grow more and more, So these are some of the techniques. I'm sure you know of all these. The other thing as well is tongue as well, tongue and throat, focus on, yeah, exactly. So breathe in, tip of the tongue at the roof of the mouth, causes different connections. You can increase your intuition by actually breathing a smile through the tip of your tongue, through the roof of your mouth, and opening the pineal gland. Well, these are things that most people have got no idea about. And I sort of see it, my job is to explain what I've gone through and to maybe help them to practice these things as well. Because there's no doubt about it, I didn't have a clue, even though I worked in pathology and medical science for years and years and years, about the workings of the body. I didn't have any idea whatsoever. My head was full of information, quite good information, but I had no idea of what the internal works of the emotional side of the human being were all about, So it's the most difficult thing to change is your attitude, There's two things, Sifu, and I'm sure you know this, that block you from going forward. One's fear and one's pride. Fear says I can't go there, right? And pride says I don't need to because I already know what to do. Pride's the tricky one. It's to let go of your ideas, your emotions, your attitudes, everything that you thought you knew. Is to let go of the whole lot and wake up the next day with this beginner's mind, to get into a state of I don't know rather than I know. And Sifu, keeping hold of the I know, as you know, it nearly took me to my death because I wouldn't let go of my ideas. And in the end, I was wrong. And I don't mind saying that now. The way I was living was just distorted. And I'm so glad I got to that point where the light went on and said to me, Joe, you know what, Joe? You don't know everything. And then when I realized that, things started to change then. More space was created in my mind, more space in my heart, more space in my body, and things changed around completely.
Yeah, and that's the point, and that's why some people say, "Why do you say that, Boggie?" And where I say, as any good Taoist should say, "Hey, what do I know?" Is that you let go of that belief that you can know everything. Well, people say, "Oh, Boggie, you know so much stuff." It's like, yeah, but there's always more. There's always more, and that whole beginner's mind is a key principle. Or I love the books by old Benjamin Hoff, and and the Tao of Pooh and the Tale of Piglet, and the whole point is that when you see people will see somebody who do things a simplistic way as, oh, they're simple or they're this, like with me, some people will go, oh, Boggie can't shut up talking or this or that, but everything has its place, everything has its time. And the whole point of, I've done shows where somebody just want to talk. So I talk because they're not going to. I wait and I listen, and in my head, 2 seconds is quite a long time. In my head, it feels like about 35 minutes. So 2 seconds and there's I can't see any facial movement to that person. I'll kick in to keep it flowing because everything's about flow. But but at the same time, if somebody wants to talk, talk. And, if somebody wants to disagree with me, it's your right. It's your right to just disagree with everybody. Nobody's right, nobody's wrong. And that's the biggest one people do. What do you mean nobody's right, nobody's wrong? Of course somebody's wrong. No, because technically, my nan, on my adopted side, my Irish nan, I loved one of her sayings was, the broken clock is right twice a day, like the old hand ones. And so that means sooner or later, what somebody believes is right, at least in their perception of it. So their reality. And that's a bit of a mind bender. But when science says that the observer affects reality, so you can make something right for a short period of time, or you can be right for a short period of time, and live it. If you want to, you want to, what's the word? You want to gloat in your rightness, then do so. But sooner or later, it disappears, like Doc did. Ah, where's the Doc? Where's the Doc? Where's the Doc? Where's the Doc? Doc, where are you? Where's the Doc? Where's the Doc? Will he come back? I don't know, but I'll keep singing just in case, because I'm slightly mental. But anyway, I mean, if there was somebody to talk to, if we were actually live, I would have you guys to talk to. The fact Doc has gone is quite funny. Maybe he might come back. I'll give it a little bit of time to see if he comes back. I've got that song in my head now, I must admit. Where's the Doc? Where's the Doc? Hey, Doc, you rock! I actually did this game. We did this pilot game called Roller Wars, and I actually played this character called originally I was going to play the character called Dr. Haha, and at first I was his number 2 called Junior Doc. And this game was very much about, I'm just rounding to see if he turns back up. This game was very much about like roller hockey, but it was sort of like roller hockey, basketball, and WWF. The game was real, but the characters were fake. The characters were made up. And so I played Junior Doc, and like I say, hey, Junior Doc, hey, I'm Junior Doc, and you rock. So, and I've got one purple sock. And I was supposed to be American, but, you know, I'm not very good at accents. Okay, I don't know where the Doc's gone. Doc's gone. Let's just see if he's going to give him a few more minutes to see if he's going to come back. Have we lost you? Where's the Doc? Where's the Doc? Well, as if by magic. Well, there's a picture. There's a picture there.
No.
Hello, Doc. You're back.
No, don't know what happened there at all.
I don't know. Maybe I was starting to believe my own nonsense. So, but anyway, it's all good.
It's not bad nonsense. Should we call it a day then?
Yeah. Let's do that. Thank you. I'll stick this on. Thank you so much. You know, sorry it was a bit of a nightmare, but we have booked one up for next month, haven't we? The 12th. Yeah,
12th to the 12th, 8 p.m.
Yes, Sifu. Yeah, I got it wrong. I'm sure it was 8:30, but we'll do it 8. We'll definitely do 8 p.m. next on the 12th. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. And we'll actually, Doc, don't go anywhere just for a second. But everybody else, that's it for now. Hope you enjoyed the show. Sorry it wasn't live, but sometimes puck happens, or chi happens. Chi happens. It happens. So, guys, take care. Oh, now I'm starting to cough. Take care until next month. It's goodbye from the wonderful Doc. It's goodbye. Bye-bye. It's goodbye from me. Until next time, love, Chi, and Shen from Doc and Sifu's Monthly Musings. I'm sure it's supposed to be the other way around.
No.
Bye, guys. No. Bye-bye.